What is up, gamers? Hope you guys are all having a good day. Hope you're all chilling. We are gonna be reading a new book called Live What You Love. Now, from what I can understand from the synopsis is that it's supposed to be a book about living in the moment, basically, and learning to do that, and you know, try and be well, we'll read it. We'll get to that. But anyways, charity's in the description. You know how it is. Let me turn this off, boys, because we're gonna get immersed. So, you know how it is. Also know some people do probably watch this stream to sleep at some point. I mean, I would. So we'll see. I know it's another orange book. It's not my fault, okay? This game did get an update. So we'll see how that goes. This one sounds interesting. True. The other one changed my life, but I don't know if that's gonna exactly happen here. Really, it's an orange book. Yes. Yeah. Look, it's us. It's our stuff. Good to be back, ain't it? Look at all that. All that stuff we got in there. Beautiful. Ain't it truly gorgeous? All right. We're back, boys. We're back to reading with Pables. As a completely original jingle. Has nothing to do with anything. Okay. So let me read you the synopsis, or the very beginning of it. Oh, no. Okay. It's broken like me. Alright, anyways. Let's see, where's the thingy? I guess I could use, did I use I think I did. I think I used the bookmark, the freaking, what's it called? Receipt as the bookmark. We might only do an hour today, so hopefully you guys enjoyed. Oh, you know what? I have the things. I forgot to put the things on the screen. Hold on. There we go. Put this right here. Put that there. There we go. Boop, 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 boop. Done. What it looks like. That's what the book looks. Oh God. That's what the book looks like. The book looks like. All right. Live what you love. Notes from an unusual life. Okay. It's fine. I'm tired, so an hour is good. Okay, cool. Retrospective perspective. We're all very, very busy. We have emails to answer, planes to catch, and we're constantly reshuffling schedules to squeeze in new meetings. Each more important, more urgent than the last, but every now and then we get a signal. Life should be more satisfying. You really like this orange sand books. This orange, yeah, true. Have you ever found yourself counting up the days to the weekends and it was only Monday? You start searching for daily pleasures to reward yourself for just getting through another day. Ice cream, shopping, or going out for dinner. Some people even believe that a 2-week vacation once a year is enough to keep them feeling happy and fulfilled. Is it right that we spend so much time planning our next escape? When we were small, we blew out the candles on our birthday cake, believing that all of our hopes and dreams would become real. And when Jiminy Cricket urged us to wish upon a star, we all tried it, at least once. So when exactly did you stop wishing? When did you start doing the things you had to do instead of the things you wanted to do? When did your dreams get buried underneath the responsibilities of adulthood? Now you sense that something needs to change, but you're too busy to stop and think about what it is. You long for those forgotten times when each day's accomplishments filled you with joy and excitement, when you embraced life and energy and enthusiasm, when there were a million special days. The first day of school, the night before your 5th birthday, summer vacation, your first kiss, all of these momentous achievements that made you feel almost giddy inside. But now you sometimes feel as if you're stuck in a great big rut, and the years go by, the rut keeps getting deeper and deeper. You sense loss, understanding that you were meant to do more. Your dreams feel so far away and always seem to be just out of reach. When the money mattered more than I did. True, so true. But they're silly dreams, you tell yourself. Get real, after all, you have a job, you're earning a living, you have responsibilities, you can't go off chasing crazy dreams. Besides, it's scary to think about going out on a limb. But the dreams just won't go away. They keep popping up. If only dreams came with a guarantee that you'd be as secure as you are now. Your job is secure, right? Wouldn't it be awful if you to live your whole life and then say, wait, I need another chance. I just wanted to try this one thing. Remember how scared you were taking the training wheels off the bike? Or how much courage it took to take that first kiss? It took for that first kiss. Nothing stopped you then. So what's stopping you now? Interesting. So that is all before the table of content. That's crazy. Okay, before we start the actual book, we're going to go to the next. We're going to go to the next one. The next area. Because, Jesus. Yeah, true. It does kind of seem like the money matters more than you do sometimes. And I think this book might be interesting. Now, I don't think there are some caveats to reading this book that I don't think, I don't think you should hold yourself accountable, or not hold yourself accountable, but you shouldn't hold it against yourself if you are unable to do everything you've ever wanted. And because as the book says, you do have things you need to do in order to live stuff. So anyways, where is the thingy? Where's the thing? Is it right here? Ah, oh, what? Oh, am I going? Oh, I'm going. All right, let's go. We're back. I used to go for day trips. My days off, I spent a lot of time in my cars and on the road. It wasn't an escape. Now I don't, as I worry too much. What if the car dies? Can I fix it? So even when I have wheels, I go less. I feel like you're just being mindful, resourceful, but maybe this will be more of like a. Now, I don't want you guys to think that you have to drop everything right now, okay? We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if this book is going to be as, helpful as the last one. Hold on, let me see. Try something real quick. Disabled VSync. Resort reflections enabled. Should I take this off? Let's take off anti-aliasing, and yeah, that should be it. Enter. Oh, much better. Much better. Much less muddy. So, yeah, I'm not sure how this is gonna go, but hopefully you guys enjoy it. I decided that maybe we we get a new thumbnail for a new trip. Oh, sorry. Might be more about not letting fear guide you, but your passion. Fear stopping us just leads to wishing we had just did it. True. That might be what it is. Because I got it in the psychology, or like the self-help section. I think that's what kind of, it kind of makes me want to read some stuff. I don't know if I'll ever read like a real, like, narrative-driven book. But maybe. Oh my god. Is my stuff there? Oh, thank the Lord. Alright, cool. We're vibing, we're vibing. Hold on, let me see. I burnt myself today. No. You know what? I did something here. My frames seem to be okay now. Okay. How'd you burn yourself? Yeah, I think this is just about like living and loving to live. I think it was super cold this morning, so I got this hand warmer and I put it in my stomach to help keep me warm, and it burnt my skin. Oh no. My friend has these packs that he uses. He puts, it's like, I guess chemicals or something, and it's like heats up. And it's pretty good. Pretty nice, if I do say so myself. Alright. Alright, where is our next area here? Because we didn't really read that much. We're just kind of guessing right now of where we need to go. Okay. Almost there. I mean, I kind of missed that. So no long pauses of Pables breaking down. Yeah, that sounds like my hand warmers. I just have made sure it was away from my skin. True. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's not going to happen. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. It might be more narrative because I read a little bit and there was like some stories. But I don't know if it's going to be like super story driven, so see how it goes. All right, cool, beautiful. Look at that. Look at that beauty. All right, the last book was deep. True. All right, this is introduction. An unusual life. Okay, we live an odd life. Wonderful but odd, unusual. We're serial entrepreneurs, 8 businesses so far. Citizens of 2 countries, the United States and Anguilla. Authors, 4 books and counting. Builders, restaurants, houses, studios, boats. Married co-workers. Our life work is building a life together. A partnering of practicality and pure dream. The balance shifts from day to day. We don't live a typical life, and our life literally does not fit into the boxes on forms. We don't even have a zip code in Anguilla. Or is it Anguilla? I don't know. It's Anguilla. There have been times when we had no address at all. What happens if life falls outside the expected lines and inside others that are self-defined? Our experiences tell us that living this way is as wonderful as it is odd. We happen to believe that life really is about choices, and we love what happens when interesting ones get paired together. So that's interesting. I wonder how do you even do this? Either they started from money or something. I don't know if we're gonna. I don't know. We'll see. For example, most readers of our first book, A Trip to the Beach, probably think that our restaurant on Anguilla is filled with only the rich and famous, and that we lead glamorous lives. Well, we do have a wonderful clientele, and we did make choices to build a very special restaurant, but we are also true blue, no nonsense Vermonters. We believe in the unique power of the duct tape to fix things, including the worn seats and glove box in our 1992 Mercury Grand Marquis. We literally bounce along Anguilla's bumpy roads and pull proudly into the parking lot of the world famous Cap Julica resort. If the image is funny, that's fine with us. We value people and experiences and meaningful indulgences, not modes of transportation. Our values are evident in our choices. Our dreams become real by building, not buying things. Is this odd? Is it wonderful? Yes, because it is right for us. From very early on, we were intent on not having a usual life. So ours is by design. Okay, this is a lot of filler. We'll read this later. Okay, a lot of just filler there. We're gonna go to the first chapter. If I had ever gotten a camper van, life would have been super different. True, but that's that thing that they were talking about the last book. If this happened to this, and I would have gotten this. Or maybe a lot of blah blah. Yeah. We're gonna go to the next one. We're gonna go to the very first. We'll come back to that like we did on the last one. Oh, there's a part here. Live What You Love is our collection of thoughts and our response to all the wonderful people who have shared in our story and taken it as their own. All who have asked, how did you do it? These stories, notes from a passionate life, really are what gave us strength and courage. They are the moments when our dreams were born, tested, and made real. We hope you enjoy them, and should any of them spark inspiration, we hope you will share with us stories that get written as you live what you love. Have the courage to let your life and stories and experiences be both odd and wonderful. May you be blessed with an unusual life. Interesting. So, have the courage to let your life and stories and experiences be both an odd and wonderful. May you be blessed with an unusual life is in bigger letters this time. And so there's like a picture of two people like frolicking or like holding hands, running on hay bales. And it says, no experience necessary. Up to our ears in cake batter. Beginning a new life, recipe for a new restaurant. From the early years when our son Jesse was born prematurely to the present, when we asked to share the joys of day-to-day life on national television, we had a variety of unexpected experiences for which we were totally unprepared. But these experiences have taught us a great deal about our life. Passion and meaning. So about our passion, life, passion, and meaning, they taught us the power of amateur status. We didn't know we couldn't survive. We just pushed forward together, picking up each experience like a thread unaware. We were weaving a pattern. Of course, this life that we love took some time and effort. We learned relatively quickly that experiences have a purpose. They can encourage us to take a careful look at how we are living. They can give us a time to reflect. They can encourage us to make choices or take risks that can change our life. Whether it was the birth of our child, the start of a business, or deciding to bake a cake, we saw that little experiences, little decisions, and little experiments can lead to big experiments, decisions, and lives. These in turn can and do lead to a more passionate and more meaningful life. So, taking little steps is basically what that one is about. There's only like a little bit more here. So it says, to some people, parts of our life might be considered ordinary or routine, anything but unusual, but each event was extraordinary for us. We assumed it would help us find some meaning or significance. We took the time to see each experience as an opportunity of a lifetime, as a chance to look at our life, and as a sign of meaning, structure, and significance in our life. Some experiences have been humbling, others have been fulfilling. Each story here taught us to stop, to look, to read, and to examine what happens in our life. We learned that no experience is required to gain experience. We just had to live with our eyes wide open, so we didn't miss a thing. Okay, so that's what I think this book is supposed to be. And so the next chapter is called Up to Our Ears in Cake Batter. And it has like a little date under it. It says August 2004. And on the other side of the page, it says it has like a little picture of a house on top of a cake. On the top tier is the house, and then the row down is some lawn chairs, and the row down is a collection of boats, like sailboats, and then under that it's like a coral reef is the last tier of the cake. So we're gonna leave that one there, and I'm gonna look around and we'll digest what that means, what that last thing means. So I'm pretty sure, so we're gonna try and read this and see what it feels like. You see how it could help us, okay? And then if you feel like you know what if you feel like you know what it actually is saying, then let me know. Now, I have two thoughts about this. Now, I don't want to take it with a grain of salt, because I don't know what actually is going to happen, so just let me just tell you that real quick. No idea what is going to happen, but I really hope it's not like two rich kids saying, I love this, I love that, I love this. Because if it is, I'm going to be pissed off. Because I am listening. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, hopefully it's not that. Because that would be super disappointing. And I don't know if I want to continue that much, you know? My legs hurt, so laying down. Okay, no worries. No worries. Oh, this one has 9? Oh my god. Hold on, let me drop that. Drop this one as well. Okay, drop that. Where's the thingy? How do I pop the hood on this one? Steering wheel. Wait, hold on. Ignition. Where's the trunk top upper? Is it up here? No. I don't know. I honestly do not know. Oh, I can just hit. Okay. We got we need some water. Now it has enough oil, I think, for now. So this one has 2. This one has, okay. Get some water in there. All right, beautiful. Cool. So yeah, I really hope it's just not like I'm rich and that's why I'm happy. And whenever I ran out of money, all I had to do was ask father for some more money, and then he gave it to me, and then everything was great. Because I would be pissed off. It'd be pissing me off. Would you want me to stop reading it if that's what it is? Because I feel like that is fair. Let me see. I didn't get any food, did I? Did not. Suncola. Figurine. Cola. Drink that. Oh wait, I can drink some of this water, can I? Yeah, I'm just gonna drink this. Oh no, I already drank it. Never mind. Okay. Is there any food on this energy drink? No, there's no food here. Damn it. Okay. Right, we might be cooked. Okay, we gotta go. We gotta go immediately. Alright, go. Alright, hopefully we get to the next area. But yeah, so far, so good. Not a lot has happened. So it's just going to be a couple of... It's just going to be a couple of, what's it called? Stories. So hopefully from the stories we can derive our meaning of what it means. I'm sure they're going to go over, like, you know, what it means to them. But, you let me know how you guys are feeling about everything, okay? And we'll, get that going. We'll go that going here. Alright. And how much money we have? 10,000. Let's go. Okay, there's our next area. Looks like a diner? Or no, it's... Oh, that's the place. That's the place, okay. Okay, turn that off. There we go. Beautiful. Alright. Cool. I have stuff to sell, I think. First, let's go get some food. There's it. I would like to buy, yep. Gonna eat this immediately. I'm gonna save that one for later. Oh, alright. Beautiful. Alright. Let's go. Second area. Or I mean second thingy. Okay. Up to our ears in cake batter. August 2004. When a senior producer from the Today Show called asking us if we'd be interested in making a wedding cake to use on this show, we might have said, "It's awfully nice of you to think of us, but I'm afraid we're just too busy." Or I might have replied with complete candor saying, "We've never made a wedding cake before, you'd probably be better off calling someone else." Instead, I answered impulsively, turning our lives upside down for the next 2 months. Of course we'd love to make a wedding cake for the show, I said. Just let us know what you need. Just let us know what you need and we'll deliver it to the studio whenever you like. After all, we run a successful restaurant, satisfying some pretty discerning tastes. Surely we could pull off a cake, right? The annual Today Show wedding series is an elaborate undertaking. Planning a wedding under ordinary circumstances is no easy task. Pulling one together that will air on NBC for a show with 10 million viewers requires an army of a staff and the organizational skills of a 5-star general. The Today Show's audience votes to decide which couple from thousands of applicants will be chosen to marry on the air, as well as where the wedding will be held. Is that true, dude? I didn't know that even happened. As well as where the wedding will be held, what the invitations will look like. Oh my god, they're doing which gown the bride will wear, and all the other important details that go into planning a bride's dream wedding, including the cake. What? Shabba dabba lacka meebo. What? Bro is speaking Italian. What? Yo, what up, Mr. UW, Mr. U? Okay. This year, our little island of Anguilla became the destination of choice. We'd been on the show as a number of times, and the producers naturally connected our names with Anguilla and called to invite us to bake one of the wedding cakes to be voted upon by the audience. The 3 other contestants were all professional cake decorators who had devoted years to the craft. Any one of them could make the perfect sugar paste flowers with their eyes closed, and baking a 2-foot-high, multi-tiered cake was almost an everyday event. We, on the other hand, didn't know what sugar paste was, much less how to shape it on top into tropical flowers with palm trees. So, within 24 hours, we were studying all the books on cakes decorating we could find, and quickly realized we might have gone over our heads. Each book expounded a different style, and they all had glossaries filled with words we didn't know, let alone understand. It also became... Fuck, I can't read in this light here. Blue. Okay, that's better. EBDB CP the leeby the sheeby the leap. Yes, true. So good at Italian, Mr. U. You're getting better. Okay, so this year, yeah. Okay, got that part. Where was I? Mel disappeared into the night. Okay. Okay, glossaries filled with words we didn't know, let alone understand. It also became clear to that our well-equipped kitchen was not nearly as complete as we thought. Other than a KitchenAid mixer, we had none of the equipment needed to make a cake of this scale. But there was no turning back. We had promised the Today Show that we could make a cake. We were going to figure out how to do it. Mel disappeared into the kitchen to test cake recipes, and I sequestered myself at the drafting table. I had no doubt that Mel's ability to produce a great-tasting cake. It was my design capabilities that frightened me. I've drawn, what the fuck? House plans, restaurant plans, boat plans, and plan for retail stores. But when the Today Show asked for the rendering of our wedding cake, I didn't know where to begin. Oh my god, shabibi heebie da deebie deebie da da seebie da eepie. Oh my god. Really? Where are we? I've drawn house. Okay, yes. I didn't know where to begin. Yeah. I feel like I've done something like that where, you know, you say yes to something. You say yes to something and you're like, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that. Yep, definitely gonna do that. And then you get into it and you're like, oh no, I'm not doing that. Okay, so let's see. This tire durability. Okay, so that's, hold on, what's this at? 89.12. 89.12. This one's 99.30. Okay. 99.66. Okay, I think I'm supposed to sell that. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to sell that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna definitely sell this and keep those, right? Am I keeping these? What is this, roof lights? Oh yeah. Forgot all about this. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Papa lapa lapa hapa tapa. Yes. Yeah. Okay, so we got that. We don't need that. We have waters that I have. But have you guys ever done that where you say yes and you didn't really think about it till way too late? How much is this? $45. Wait, can I get more of those? I think I can, actually. Older oil canister, water canister. I think I can add some more. I have 2 right there, and then I have... Yeah, hold on. Petrol. Cool, cool, cool. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And then I can add 2 more on the doors. That would be sick. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, do I want to get another tire? Do you have a couple of tires? The tire's almost out. That one's 60. This one's at 40. This one is at 70. Okay, so I need 2 of the off-roads. These are all road tires. Damn you! Damn you! Okay. Before we leave, let's read the next part. Hold on. Let me take these off. Let me take them off. Those there. There you go. Hell yeah. Get in here. Turn that on. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. Cool. Super sick. Okay. Have you seen the Craft movie? No. I haven't. I mean, I literally haven't. I was warned not to watch it till it goes to some sort of platform of some kind. Before the Flint and Steel. The Flint and Steel. Chicken jerky. It's actually peak, bro. You should go watch it. Okay. I will watch it. For you, Mr. You, and I will blame you if something happens. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Okay, anyways. Let's go back to what we were doing. Where were we? Okay, so this... Yeah. Okay, I sat at my drawing board studying books and sharpening pencils for 2 days before an idea hit me. There was no way we could compete with the pros by making a traditional cake. We had to be creative. I had already spent hours trying to make an edible bougainvillea. What the fuck? Bougainvillea? Is that how you say that? Flower. Only to realize that... How do you say this? We're gonna figure out how to say this. But for real though, the movie ain't actually bad. It really... That is very interesting, because everybody was saying that it was going to be bad. Okay, 1 second. Bougainvillea. How do you say that? Say word. Pronunciation.
Bougainvillea.
There's no way it's said that way. British version.
Bougainvillea.
Bougainvillea. Is that how you say that? Slow it down.
Bougainvillea.
Bougainvillea. Okay, this guy knows what he's talking about.
You think you know Wix, but do you
This
really?
mother...
First
L-ad. Okay, let's see. This guy's the...
We are looking at how
Yep,
to pronounce the name
yeah, the French
of
guy.
this plant.
Uh-huh.
Ornamental vines, bushes, or Bougainvillea, you do. Bougainvillea, you do.
Bougainvillea. That is... It's much better than what I just heard from the AI. Thank you. I miss little gator. Yeah, me too. But we're reading right now. We're reading. Tomorrow we'll do the little gator. All right. Anyways, let's see here. The annual Today Show. Yump. I sat at my drawing board. Okay, bougainvillea. So I had already spent hours trying to make an edible bougainvillea flower petal, only to realize that the professionals go to school to learn that sort of thing. I pictured our cake on national television with millions of people wondering what these amateurs were doing on the show. I was pretty sure it would be our last appearance on NBC. I shared my fears with Mel, and she agreed. Why would we want to make the same cake everyone else makes? She asked. The world doesn't need another white cake with seashells and flowers. We're from Anguilla, and our cake should tell a story. It should show the viewers what Anguilla is all about. I thought about her idea, knowing she was right. Our biggest advantage over all the other bakers was our tie to Anguilla. Perhaps the other bakers had looked it up on the map, but we'd lived it on this remarkable little island of ours for over a decade. We knew, let's see, we knew the people and understood their customs. This wedding wouldn't just take place. Oh, wait, am I on the, hold on, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that I was on the thing. This wedding wouldn't just take place on the beach. It would be on a beach in Anguilla. I began drawing. Meanwhile, Mel baked. She tested dozens of recipes, white cakes, yellow cakes, and chocolate cakes, glazes, buttercream, icings, fondant coverings and fillings, creams, meringues. The list was endless. Our cake was finally decided. We finally decided it would be a gift to Nikki and Buddy, the bride and groom. They knew nothing about Anguilla, and we wanted to give them something that represented the island, something personal. Each buttercream-filled layer would represent a different aspect of the island life. As we began to accumulate equipment, cake pans ranging. Cake pans ranging in size. What the fuck? No, I want little game. Okay, well, I don't think that can happen. Let's see, sets of 16 inches covered in the dining room table, sets of decorating tips, along with pastry bags, rolling pins, leaf cutters, flower molds, and cutting tools arrived by FedEx daily. I came downstairs one morning to find that Mel had already cleaned out the refrigerator, gone grocery shopping, and thrown out all the leftover Chinese food, as well as my favorite sandwich ingredients. Butter and eggs were all that remained. 50 pounds of butter, 24 dozen eggs. Oh my God. What did you do with my beer? I asked, staring into the refrigerator. And where's the milk for my coffee? It's in the garage, Mel answered, waving hands pink from the colored fondant. The pink looked permanent to me. I can't get the color right on these beach chairs. It's either too pink or too red. Shifting to the other side of the kitchen counter, she continued, what do you think of this blue for the beach umbrellas? She held up the ball of blue fondant sealed with plastic wrap to keep it moist. It's perfect, I said. But how are we going to make the umbrellas? I was hoping you could figure that out, she said with a smile. You're the engineer. I think I better call Sue, I replied. I bet she'll know. Let's see. Oh. I bet she'll know what to do. I have no idea how to stick the top of an umbrella onto the pole without using Elmer's glue. And I know that's against the rules, right? No glue, Mel agreed. Everything has to be edible. Sue Chandler owns a cake decorating store about 60 miles away in Concord, New Hampshire. We'd purchased most of our baking paraphernalia from Sue's shop and realized immediately that Sue was a cake goddess. She knew everything, and lucky for us, she would enthusiastically answer our questions morning, noon, and night. 2 hours after calling Sue, we were seated in her back room, taking a private lesson in sugar paste decoration. It reminded me of making Play-Doh dinosaurs with Jesse when he was little. but we came away from the extensive knowledge of sugar and fully prepared to produce beach umbrellas, seashells, and sailboats. As our decorating skills improved and our cake began to take shape, the story we were trying to tell with each layer became clearer. The bottom tier represented the pale turquoise water of the Caribbean, which we would cover with edible coral and seashells. The second tier depicted an Anguilla boat race and would be decorated with chocolate and sugar sailboats gliding around the island. The next tier was designed to showcase Anguilla's powdery white sand beaches and was adorned with chairs, umbrellas, and tropical foliage. On top of everything, we placed a traditional Caribbean cottage, complete with white picket fence, red tin roof, and wooden shutters, all edible, of course, to represent Nikki and Buddy's new life together. Even though sailboats cruise the entire Caribbean, boat racing is a national sport of Anguilla and is a very serious business. Thousands of people turn out to watch the boat races. The winning captains are local folk heroes. The boats are handmade wooden craft and with gigantic sails hold crews of 14, some of whom are used for ballast. Ballast? What is a ballast? Each one is built in a different village, and entire communities often help with construction. We plan to explain the importance of Anguilla boat racing on the Today Show because it was such an integral part of our cake design. Interesting. Okay. So they're just really just going over this cake and everything it means and why it means the things that it does. So I am wait, can I sleep here actually? Hold on, let's see. Actually, I don't know. I assume not. But I should have an energy drink or two. So we will go ahead and... Oh my god, a garden shovel. Oh. How much is this? 16. Taking it. But I will sell my other shovel. Ooh. No! Why are you doing this? Why? There you go. There you go. I'm just gonna do this. Alright, there we go. What is this? Sapper shovel. Small, inconvenient shovel. Inconvenient? Alright, well that got us some money. Alright, let's go to the next area. So I don't know. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Oh. I don't know. So far, a lot of yapping. Like, I get the want to explain every single thing about it. And, like, tell me why they want to do the things. But I don't see why it exactly is what it is. I guess you have to build up the story to figure that out. But it doesn't seem like, are either of them writers, really? It kind of doesn't seem like it, but also at the same time, we're just barely getting into it. So who knows? Look, our next spot. We'll continue our next chapter here. All right, cool. There we go. Heck yeah. Oh, look, a little cloud up there. All right, beautiful. Back back into the book. Also, sorry I couldn't read earlier. I mean, I can't read right now either. But I think it's like, it's part of like the lighting, and then also the type of font that they're using. So let's see. It's an integral part of the cake design. So as the deadline approached, the wedding cake began taking over more and more of our lives. We've made enough miniature beach chairs to cover 20 cakes, and although our skills were improving every day, it was still hard to get the exact size, look, color, and proportion we wanted. If we rolled out the sugar paste too thin, it became fragile, too thick, and it looked like a third grade school project. We piped chocolate coral onto parchment paper in various shapes and traced photos of Anguilla sails onto rolled sheets of white sugar paste. We drove for miles in search of tiny toy boats to use as molds and scouted for just the right tool to make a corrugated tin roof. Is this the... We discovered the hard way that slicing cake layers cake layers evenly, filling them with buttercream isn't so easy either. We struggled to get the first 9 layers smooth and level until we were satisfied that they were just right. Unfortunately, when we placed the first 3 layers, little cottage of happiness on top, it tilted precariously, looking as if it had survived a mudslide. For one brief fleeting moment, we considered hiring Sue to make the cake for us, but we knew that would be cheating. Besides, once we'd come this far, we weren't the sort to give up. We pulled an all-nighter the day before the cake was due. The finished cake was iced and chilling in the refrigerator by 3 in the afternoon. Things were under control. Several hours later, we opened the refrigerator and to our horror discovered the temperature affects the color of buttercream. Our turquoise Caribbean looked more like a black sea, and the pale pink cottage looked suspiciously like a fire engine. Oh my god. So what was that picture before? How did they do that? That's crazy. Okay, they're cooked. Okay, so they're cooked. Meanwhile, let's see. The cake had to be in the studio in New York by noon the next day, which meant we had to leave our house in Vermont at 5 o'clock in the morning. Mel and I stood in front of the refrigerator, staring dumbly at our cake's new dark colors. We began again. By midnight, we were on icing batch number 20, and by 4 a.m., our kitchen looked as if a multicolored bomb had exploded. We drove away from the remains of our baking marathon just as the sun was coming up, with the cake safely stored in an insulated box, with our car's air conditioner blasting. Sue had warned us about the perils of transporting wedding cakes, and she'd shared enough horror stories that we paid close attention. We drove slowly, trying to stay away from other cars and cursing every bump in the road. As Mel and I placed the finishing touches on our wedding cake in the back room of the Today Show, we eyed the 3 other cake entries for the first time. They were beautiful. One was completely covered with real seashells. Another was made from cookies and stood nearly 3 feet tall. The third, we learned, had been flown in from California. My mind wandered back over the past 2 months, and I pictured the pile of cake decorating books in our kitchen, now dog-eared and covered with icing. I thought of the countless trips to Sue and all the tutorials she'd generously given us. I couldn't believe we'd gotten this far. We made a cake that would make Anguilla proud, and that meant more to us than winning. In the end, our cake was not chosen as the winner, but do we regret the experience? Not for 1 minute. We knew the entire population of our island would be watching the show, cheering for our cake just as if it were a real boat in a race. Okay. That was it? I thought there would be like a final thought, like, and we think that they loved it. And we are proud of it. So I don't know. I don't know what I expected, but we're at the end of this chapter here called Beginning a New Life, March 1974. And there's like a small bed. There's a small dude in a crib peeking over the top of it. What a weirdo. Oh, look at this. Ooh. Okay. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to take that and take this one. And I'm going to go put these in the back. Cool, cool, cool. Those are mine. Hello! Yo, what up, Victoria? How's it going? How's it going? We're reading some stuff. It's about trying to, trying to make sense of the world. Oh, secret tunnel. Money. Nothing in there. Nothing in there either. Oh, cool. Cool. Oh, okay. All right. Throw that in there. All right, I'm reading. Reading equals boring. True. All right, I'm back. What reading did I miss? The only book type I like is mystery. Well, this book is more like they tell us stories, and then they give us like a little bit of a synopsis of like how they felt about those stories. The first one was about reading trying to make a cake whenever they've never made a cake, but even though they didn't make the cake correctly, and that they didn't they made it correctly, right? But hold on, go do something. I have a flair for this. Okay, let's get the red one. So even though that they made the cake and it was like against for a competition and stuff, they didn't really win. And they're just saying like, we didn't win, but do we regret doing everything that we did? And then they were just saying that they didn't. That's basically it. Just even though they didn't get what they wanted, they did appreciate the experience of it all. Like the experience of going to someone's house, asking them for all these things, and they did their best. And at the end of the day, if you did that and you still enjoyed it, I think you're the actual winner, right? So you like murder mystery then? Have you seen the Craft movie? Yeah. Why? Watched it yesterday. Nice. Did you like it? Yeah, my brother thought it was ass. And did he? All right. Let's read a little bit of excerpt from this one. Beginning a New Life. It says March 1974. Oh my god, why is it so far away? Are we going back in time? I would say it was good. You said it was peak, actually, is what you said. But to each their own. Anyways, we're lucky. We thought a lot about our life and how we managed to end up where we are today. When we did it really began to take shape. When did it really begin to take shape is what it said. Were we guided by fate, or were we smart enough to have had a plan? Our story began in a hospital room in 1974 when we were both in our early 20s, and like many life changes, ours begins with a crisis. This crisis, we would later discover, was the starting point of our journey. It was the start, it was to be the defining moment of our life when we were forced to take stock, figure out that where we were, and begin shaping our future. It was terrifying. As we said, we're lucky. Okay. It was the middle of the night, and the two of us were alone in the gray hospital waiting room. The voice of Kathy Albridge, one of the ICU nurses, crackled harshly through the speaker. "Melinda, you and Mom can come in now." I watched numb as Mel got up, walked up across the cold tile floor, pushing the intercom button, and in a weak voice replied, "Okay." Together we crossed in the hall, punched the automatic door opener, and stared as a pair of heavily metal doors hissed outward like the open jaws of some mythical beast, ready to swallow anyone or anything daring to enter. Shaking, we walked through the unwelcoming doors and into the pediatric ward ICU prep room, where we donned green hospital johnnies, white caps, and scrubbed up with brown disinfectant. We tried hard to ignore the grim sounds of respirators, beeping monitors, and crying relatives as we followed Kathy toward our tiny new son. Mel squeezed my hand hard enough to hurt. Finally, we reached Jess's incubator, and we were able to see our brave and precious newborn baby. Weighing only 1 pound, 10 ounces. 1 pound is crazy. 1 pound, 10 ounces is tiny, like a potato. Like a literal potato. I don't even think that's even how much a potato can even weigh. Oh, what are you guys saying? My mom thought it was hilarious. I mean, it was kind of funny, but I would say it was more like action. Yeah, it has a lot of fighting. Chicken Jack does it have a lot of fighting? What they be doing? I don't know. Let me see. So, Jesse had been given less than a 4% chance of taking his first breath. Not only had he beaten those odds, Jesse had entered life kicking and screaming. The nurses said that he had an extraordinary will to live. We called him our miracle. The doctors were more cautious, warning us not to raise our hopes too high. He has many hurdles to get over. Dr. George Little, the head of neonatology, explained, all of which are complicated by PDA or patent ductus arteriosus. Is that how you say that? Which is periodically malfunctioning of the heart that manifests itself as a murmur. We've scheduled him for a surgery tomorrow afternoon and we'll do our best, but his chances of survival are still very slim. So why operate? I asked. Each time Jess's heart malfunctions, blood flow into the brain is diminishing, placing Jess in severe danger. If we're successful, surgery will at least eliminate that risk. I'll need your consent to operate, but don't feel that you have to make this decision alone. We'll sit down together and make our decision in the morning. Right now, I want you two to go home and get some rest. When Dr. Little left, I hugged Mel, and our eyes wet with tears, we stood over Jess's incubator in silent vigil, gazing at our beautiful son lying on his inhuman bed of tubes and wiring, fighting for his life. Mel broke the silence, mumbling, "This is not a decision any parent should ever make." We spent the night in the hospital. Each time Jess's heart monitor straight-lined, an alarm would sound, bringing a team of doctors and nurses charging to his side. The night seemed endless, and we all lost track of time. At 8:30 a.m., we were still waiting for signs of improvement, hoping to be spared having to decide our child's fate. On top of everything else, I was again late for work, and Mel was missing yet another day of classes. I don't know if I can get off from work again today, I said. And I may very well get fired over this. I've already missed 2.5 weeks, and I'm afraid the state of Vermont won't have much sympathy. I was working for a social service program at the time, though I needed to get back to my clients. I was too tired to call my supervisor. We continued to wait in silence. Finally, Mel spoke up. If the three of us ever get out of this place, I think you should find another way to earn a living. I can't imagine all of us not being together every day. There's no way I'm going to work, waiting until evening to spend time with you and Jess. I wasn't sure what she meant by the remark, but I sensed it was important. Heck yeah. Okay, sneak attack. You're gonna quote parts of the movie. That's what it seemed like. What is that over there? So it's getting good. It's getting good. That was much more interesting than the fucking cake one. Just gonna say that right now. We do need to sleep here, so sleeping. I'm sleeping. But yeah, I don't even know how I would feel in such a state, you know? We do need to get out of this area though, because we do not have any food. So I'm gonna just keep looking here. Yeah, there's no food here. Hopefully the next area is a diner, because we are cooked if it's not, and I cannot stay here. But yeah, I don't know, dude. There are parts of me that are like, you know, I understand the want for that different job. Is there like some things that happen in life that you're just like, they're too important, and if you have someone hounding you all the time, like, where are you, what are you doing, what is this, what are you doing, why aren't you doing this, then it just feels really like jarring. I want to say jarring and just wrong, basically. Like that, I mean, that's to doesn't it seem like dystopian just to be like your I mean, I guess born son, your born son is struggling, right? And you have to think about, oh, what am I going to get in trouble for this? That just a crazy idea, you know? Just a crazy concept. I am Pables. Are you like Groot? Right. We'll read another section and then we'll leave it here because we are going way over what I said. I said I was only going to do an hour, so we'll just do a little bit more. We actually don't have that much more left in this story, so we'll finish this one out. Okay. Dr. Little found us in the waiting room, still undecided about Jess's surgery. Good news, he said, smiling. Jess has done it again. Proved us wrong, I mean. His heart murmur seems to have stopped. He's an amazing little guy. Have you two been here all night? Yeah, I guess we have, I said. We both thought it might be his last night, Mel said. Why didn't you go home and get some rest? Dr. Little said. I'll call you if anything needs anything changes. We made our way downstairs and out in the bright sunshine, a crisp air of an early April morning. The trip home took us nearly 2 hours, and we drove it in silence, lost in thought. Over the next 2 months, we got to know that road well as we drove back and forth to visit Jess. He was growing steadily, and so was his hospital bill. We had no medical insurance and had no idea how we would ever pay what we knew would be an overwhelming amount of money. The day Jess was discharged, he weighed a whopping 4 pounds, 5 ounces, and the bill was 6 times my annual salary. Oh my God. Okay, hear me out. The final boss of this game could be those people who are trying to reach you out for oh my God. That's what they're the final boss. That would be so funny. So let's see here. 6 times annual salary is crazy. Nervously, we sat in the business office waiting to discuss payment with the hospital's administrators. I assumed they would simply garnish my wages for the rest of my life. Finally, the door opened and Dr. Little walked in, followed by 3 men in suits. The money, guys. The money, guys, I said to myself. First of all, we'd like to thank you for your help during Jess's stay, Dr. Little began. Mel and I looked at each other, not knowing what to say. What on earth were they thanking us for? Dartmouth is a teaching hospital, but we can't teach without the help of our patients. Thanks to your unconditional support and cooperation, we've been able to learn a tremendous amount from Jess's birth and the first 10 weeks of his life. You were all so compassionate, Mel blurted out. We couldn't imagine going through this anywhere else. We would do anything for you. Well, Dr. Little continued, we have some good news for you. We understand that the bill far exceeds what you can afford. The hospital had decided to pick up the tab. You don't owe us a thing. Oh my God. They get... Oh my God. How many pages does this have? I think like 200 or something. Overcome by emotion, we sat staring. Dr. Little broke the silence. Let's go upstairs and get Jess so you can take him home. We'll want to see him regularly for a while, so you're not done with us yet. But right now it's time to get the 3 of you home. Which page you on? I'm on page 30, I think. Yeah. But imagine, usually like wages are like I would say 30 to 40,000, but 6 times that is astronomical. That's like $500,000 almost, depending on how much the salary was. You're missing 170 pages. Well, we're gonna go through them real quick, boys. So she says, you're kidding, right? He says, I finally managed about the bill. I mean, we don't owe anything at all. Dr. Little just smiled and motioned us for us to follow. We struggled to find words to express our relief and gratitude, but none came. Even after 30 years of magnitude of how that moment changed our lives, is still hard for us to comprehend. Yep, speed, gotta go fast. True. We hugged the staff from the ICU who had walked to the car with us. Dr. Little was there along with the head nurses, Kathy Albright and Linda Brown. Jess was the only one not crying. And that was it. We weren't about to take a single moment of this life for granted. We knew what love could do, and we were going to live smack in the middle of it. Damn. That's actually crazy to to get just a pass for everything. That's crazy, dude. They were, I mean, I guess that's what they do. They just take it out of your paycheck for who knows how long. Oh my god, I thought this was a dude here. I wish this had like a thing here. Oh no. That's really crazy. Well, like they would just really just take it out of your paycheck every single time that you had something. Every time that you made some money, it wasn't actually yours. It would go towards paying that bill. Okay. Maybe I should sell some of these med kits. I mean, I have a lot of them, but still. Go, put that there. That's just sad. Imagine losing your money for rent because they steal some from you. True. Well, I don't know if it would be that much, but it would be some of it, and it would still be money that you could have used. Like, but then to like have to not pay all of it, any of it, is such a good thing. Such a good thing. Especially because the birth part was so like so labor intensive that it caused so much cost for the hospital. I don't know, dude. It would have been so crazy to have to pay for it forever. But still though, it's your money. You have the rights to use your money or whatever you want. But people stealing it from you without looking is something you can't avoid. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. But it's not technically stealing because they helped the birth of their child. So I guess that's like the main like caveat to them taking the money. Ooh, there's a way up here. I didn't know that. Is there any reason for this though? This doesn't look like it. True, but that child can be thrown to the window. We need our money. We need to be greedy. Yeah. Game saved. Alright, and that's basically, I think that's where we should end it, right? We need to be green. We need the green. The next, hold on, let me see here. So the next section is going to be called Recipe for a New Restaurant, January 1994. I don't know when they do the self-reflection parts. Adjust it or adjust it. It's honestly not that many. I mean, it's a lot of like small stories, but it's not like it's not that much. It's like 300 pages. So I think we can probably finish it at some point. Let's see here. Yeah, that's fine. All right, gamers, I'm gonna leave this one here. I'm a little bit tired, so I just wanted to do like about an hour, give you guys a little bit of a intro. If you guys don't want to read this one, that's fine. I think since it's so small of a story or of a book, I think we should go. I think we should finish it at least and see if it, how we feel about it. It's 300 pages. You might as well make 10 streams and finish 30 pages. Well, I mean, if we do, that's if we do the streams only an hour. I guess we could only do an hour. That way we could play a little Gator as well. But today I started late, so I couldn't do that. But we could try that. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.